that what it's all about? That
The question
I'm.
was for me, do I see myself working here 10 years down the road?
Good question.
Yeah, it was a big no. And that's when I realized, because you go into university, you're in high school, everybody tells you, make sure you go into your program, they can find a job and they pay. So that was the sheer mentality that I went into. Your parents and friends pushes you in one direction, you kind of fall into without even thinking about it. It's a big mistake. Whenever I find like university students or high school students, I always tell them, don't just jump into it. Think about it. Think really hard what you want to do.
Yeah, because it's a big decision, to be taken lightly, and yeah, because it'd be a decision. See, the thing is, you got to be really cheap with your time because that's like one of the main things is, you know, you're going to be like, what am I going to really do, you know, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, because before you know it, 5 years is gone. And that's a real wake up call. You could sleep away 5 years.
Easily.
I mean, without even trying, just not paying attention, and next thing you know, it's 5 years later. So, yeah, I hear you. They made us do that in college. They actually made us do a paper, and it was a whole thing like how each system is going to be affected, how we're going to be affected by each system over time, and the different changes we need to make. You're talking about relationships. He said most relationships will have cycles because sometimes you change your relationship or you change your group of friends, which may end up changing all of your relationships, especially if your relationships are connected to that group of friends. So it was analyzing it from all over your jobs, the type of social setup you're going to be in, if you go into a new profession. So yeah, it was a real good introspection of ourselves, and it was a 5 year, 10 year, and 15 year plan, and we had to write it out. I mean, it became almost like a thesis. You know.
Yeah, having a plan, not just a verbal, but a general plan. Not a general plan, but a detailed plan. Plan for exactly what to do down the road is priceless
Oh yeah.
in the situation, especially to do with your goals, your broader goals in life.
Yeah. Well, he made us write it out because he says, listen, he says a lot of these papers, hopefully you hold on to them and you treasure them because you put a lot of work into writing them and research and everything else. But he says this one you really, really need to hold on to. Because he says 5 years from now, just pull this off the shelf and take a look and see how close did you get to your goals. And I did that, and he was right. It really does help focus you back in.
Things
'Cause-
change, at the end of the day, you should, I strongly believe you should do what you love and what you have passion for and could see yourself doing for a long time.
yep. Well, I always had this philosophy. If you really want a job that you're going to stay in for a long time, could you see yourself doing it for free? If you can see yourself doing it for free, then it truly is a passion. Because see, that's how EMS was for me. I could work an ambulance with no expectation of monetary reward, just to have the experience of being available, to save lives. So
It takes a different type of mentality and character. I myself, I have tremendous respect for nurses and doctors because I know that that's something I can't do.
well,
Not
you don't
because
have
of
yeah.
qualification or skills. It's because that's something that I won't last. It's not. I find it extremely challenging mentally.
Yeah. Not only that, very, very challenging, which they don't talk a lot about, but it's very challenging emotionally as well.
Yeah,
It can really take its toll on you. I mean, you just gotta want to have that passion.
exactly. You have to have the passion, the mentality, and the will to really want to help people.
Yeah. 'Cause there's gonna be days, and the bad part about it is that the, like the bosses in EMS know this and they take advantage of it because they know that you'll do anything, even sacrifice yourself, for the sake of another person. So, they put you in situations that you end up sacrificing on yourself, like mandatory overtime. It took a long time for us to get them to let us take a meal time for lunch because they didn't want us coming off the road.
Yeah, and that's the challenges comes with the job or the situation where you will find people, you'll find individuals
Yeah,
very they're not decent folks.
exactly.
And
So,
that's also relative, uh, based on some people. It's relative depending on how you feel or who you are. But I find myself some people that I can't stand. They could be good people. I don't know that, but to me they haven't been good. Therefore, from my perspective, from my relative to my views, they're not individuals that I want to be around.
exactly. I hear you.
Yeah, there's a lot of politics and there's
Oh yeah.
any
Any
job, I think.
well, any environment where people are going to be in the same environment, you're always going to have certain political norms and behavioral norms, for that group. And job is, basically a job is like any other social environment. It has a purpose to it, but it is a very much a social environment, and it has its own, forays and different behaviors that are acceptable and not, and all of that stuff goes with it too. So yeah, places of employment are very interesting. I mean, in this country, I mean, it's gotten like strange, and we've even jokingly giving it names like these people who go postal that actually came from people working in the post office and for whatever reason having a beef with the boss or whatever, and then coming back and shooting all the workers.
Jesus.
So they actually call that going postal. But there's nothing facetious about it because that's how volatile that workplace got. That somebody would feel compelled to take violence against their coworkers. That's scary. That's why now terminations are handled totally different. You don't just bring somebody in your office and say you're fired, because that could cost you your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if that you don't know how that person is interpreting, your actions, and if they interpret it as being disrespectful to them in any way. They'll go home, sit on that for a while, and that could turn into rage. So it's very, very scary.
I enjoy work though. I love it. I have no. What got me? I think for me, work was after work was better.
Well, I mean, you're young enough. You're still looking for passion. At least that's the impression I get. Like I said, you're going to find something that you really enjoy, and like they say, once you find it, work it to the hilt. Because you know, if you can get something you love and turn it into a profession, you're going to make a lot of success doing it.
Yeah, I just got a message from. That's the first organization I joined that they like overseas.
Oh wow, they're giving you an invitation.
Yeah, I'm telling him like he says he's gonna take me on as a members list. I'm like, yeah, but just they're good guys. Except the reason it's not the reason I left that organization is because they had a different value system, and the value system was hardcore conservatives. I'm not used to that at all.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things I always said to people who, especially on like these social channels and team speak and everything, is one thing you don't want to get into discussions about is religion and politics. 'Cause you
Yeah,
got
especially if you don't share your values. It's
exactly.
a pointless issue.
Because now what you've done is you've put a component in your group that is going to make your group restrictive. So that's a choice you have to make. I mean, I disowned a couple of people that I had on TeamSpeak just because of their political views, because they made the mistake of expounding on it on the channel, which I didn't appreciate. And I didn't think that they were worth the debate, so I just left it alone, and I just don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah, this is more like a social gathering if you want to have further discussions. That's a different environment.
Yeah, I mean, there's a time and place for that. If somebody opens up the topic and is asking for your opinion, that's fine. But some people you don't have to ask; they're going to give you their opinions whether you ask them or not. And sometimes you don't agree with those opinions. And I know in this country, we have free speech, but as we often say in this country, yeah, it's free speech, but it doesn't mean it's not going to cost you.
Yeah,
Because you are responsible for what you say. So, yeah, there will be no legal consequences. That doesn't mean you're not going to have social consequences. You could be totally ostracized from a group. You come off the wrong way, and group sees that as an insult. Well, they got these new wallpapers. I actually think I got these out of the hub. They did some more artwork on some of the planet side, and they look like they're black and white, but when you download them, what they do is the black and white comes on, and then the next one is the same picture but with the coloring.
wallpaper, right? I have one. See if you like it. I'll send to you.
Okay. Yeah, this one I was surprised because I thought it was in black and white. But then, if you when it hits, it actually goes from black and white, and then the next one is the same picture, but colorized.
I use That'll look easy in the eyes. I like it.
Yeah, I've been doing like my own pictures for wallpaper. I have a nice picture of Warren from the back heading towards Dead Moon. I mean, towards the star. And looks really nice. I'll send it to you. Looks makes the Warren look like a bat. But right now, I'm actually flying in England, doing weapon placement inspections. I'll be done in a few minutes.
The Bison.
No, this is Wings of Prey. Yeah, this game is so nice. The scenery and like the flying is tremendous in this game. The scenery is crazy. They actually have like the castles in England and stuff like that. If you fly down close enough, you see landmarks.
I used to play Flight Simulator 2000 when it first came out. That's the
2000,
first.
2000 or 2004?
I think it was 2004.
Yeah, because that was more popular. 2000 was very buggy. Yeah, that's the one I still play.
Yeah, that's my first flying experience.
Yeah, I still, after all these years, I still use that. What I liked about it is that you can download the weather with it. So that always gave me a kick with it. That's why sometimes you hear me looking for rainstorms in certain places just so I could fly in the rainstorm.
Beautiful, you guys gets excited when it's raining.
Oh yeah. And the last one I did this about 3 nights ago. I flew and it was a bad rainstorm down here, and I took a Cessna. I took a small plane out, not my usual 737.
I flew the Cessna in Flight Simulator 2007. It's the first time I flew.
Yep, that's a challenge. That is a challenging plane. You get to learn trim real quick. Well, I was used to be so immersive into this game. I had like this place I used to land because I used to say it was a girlfriend there. So I used to go and land in this by this farm. They said, yeah, the farmer's daughter. Go and pay her a visit.
What's your status? We're on course, on time, and on target. Everything's fine. How are you?
So there's nothing I can turn up on my card or anything if I see that lagginess.
Currently, no, because you already, I think, configured your system.
Yeah, I have my frame rate set at 60.
Yeah, but you're not seeing what's experiencing in your eyes.
So you think I should back it down to 30?
No, leave it at 60.
Oh,
That
okay.
just means that you're capped at 60 or at least control over 60.
I got you.
Sometimes games do have that option because uh, when you have fluctuation of FPS, like from 100 to 60 and then back to 100, you feel jittery. So what happens is that they're giving us an option to set your max FPS at 60. So you don't go over 60.
I got you.
It's just I'm still just able to run the game. It's just very sketchy. But for now, I don't plan on getting it in 60 FPS and stuff. So I'm definitely waiting. I think for now, bro, I think we should be just play the way it is until they optimize the. Well, first of all, they have to bring out DirectX 12 for Star Citizen,
Right.
and have to change the threading system for the CPU to allow you to run more than one thread. Um, that would tremendously increase performance. Even me, I struggle with my CPU because now with my settings, I have my using a dual core system.
Yeah, I mean, right now my game is comfortable, even with the amount compared to what I had. I mean, it's such a big improvement. So,
I could imagine for you. Other part wasn't there for me. Whereas I meant to watch the video if you can.
which is surprising, unless these guys were bullcrapping me, because the guys who ordered that machine to be built were getting those machines to build games.
Did he look at the requirement for Star Citizen? Because if he looked at that, based on that, he chose the graphics card, then that was a mistake. Because
No, no, no. I basically these guys. I don't think these guys know that much about uh, um, the games and stuff, because the only thing they used to get my game, which I had directed them to, was the "Can I play this?"
On target. Everything's fine. How are you?
okay,
So that was it. Once they got one of the computers that said yes, you can play Star Citizen, then that's what they brought to my attention. So I can't blame that on them, because the machine was capable of what I asked them for to fly Star Citizen. So they didn't lie. But what's nice is I got a big enough box that I can make changes, which is very helpful.
what makes my performance intermediate mode? Everything else is okay, but why do they recommend you hard because it's not just Star Citizen. You do have difficulty with Delta V games.
Yeah, like I said, they may have been BSing about the background of the card, but like I said, once they were able to get it to run Star Citizen, that's all I was really interested in. But I don't think that this was a machine that was for game developers. I'm pretty sure they would have needed something with a whole lot more guts.
Yeah, more power performance.
See now what I'm about to do. This is a challenge. I am 3,800 feet up. I'm approaching a giant runway that's about maybe another 20 miles away. When I get over it, I'm shutting off my engine and I'm going to drift all the way down until I can make a perfect landing.
Is that how you do it in real life?
No,
You don't turn off the engine, right?
no, no. They take away your pilot license for doing that. What I'm about to do, you would lose your pilot license, because I'm basically creating an emergency situation for fun.
Oh, okay. So in case you run out of power, you're gonna have to take over manually the
Oh yeah, I've done this many a times, especially with a wounded fighter jet. Bring it down and make a landing with it.
Number 3, anything? No,
Well, there's the runway.
Roger that.
I'm now at 3,800 feet. I'll let myself get a little bit more proximal, because if you're too close, then you're going to have to start doing circles to slow down. Alright, here we go. First thing is, shut off the engine. The pilot in this plane is going, "What, are you crazy?"
Okay, pilot, quick fast.
Well, this is a fighter plane, so
Okay.
while there's so much wind as I'm coming down, it keeps making the prop turn. Yeah, this is going to take a circle. Still 200, 600 feet up. There it goes. And I got enough runway. Ooh. Ow! Oh man, I touched down at first. I bounced. Dagnabbit. The second time I came down from the bounce, my left wheel broke.
Were you landing?
Well, I landed with only one wheel. I'm gonna see if I can take off. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on, get up there. Get enough speed.
Number 3, anything?
I'm trying to take off on one wheel.
No, negative, nothing.
I'm like running in circles. Oops. Alright, I guess that's the end of that. I flipped over onto my nose.